revealed their true religion in deathbed confessions. One interesting story some of you might have heard about came from a woman I knew who was a TV reporter in Philadelphia. After getting a TV job for a network position in New York, she later married the well-known, the famous broadcaster Peter Jennings. Her name, Cady Martin. Martin knew she was born a Catholic in Hungary, but it wasn't until she was on network assignment in Budapest that she accidentally discovered her real origins. During her stay, an older couple approached her and told her they once knew her parents. When Cady asked how, they replied, "Well, we belong to the same synagogue." Martin laughed and said that they were mistaken. But the Hungarian couple persisted, and when Martin returned to the US and confronted her parents, they finally told her of her Jewish roots. Since then, Martin has written several very successful books with Holocaust themes. After Peter Jennings' death, she married a Jewish man, the well-known diplomat and world troubleshooter, Richard Holbrooke, who recently passed away. After the war, there was a well-worn saying, "Many born as Jews arrived in the United States as Protestants." An infamous example of this is former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, who was unaware of her family's Jewishness until she was 59, when she was vetted to Bill Clinton's administration. She also learned more than a dozen of her family members, which included 3 grandparents, had perished in the Holocaust. After the Shoah Foundation had finished its mission and closed its regional offices around the country, my wife Jan and I traveled to LA and visited Steven Spielberg's DreamWorks studio. We were given a VIP tour and brought in front of the enormous master computer nicknamed Booby. Remember, back then, powerful computers tended to be huge and clunky. My name was inserted into the archive's mainframe, and a large arm hovered overhead and delivered me a printout of all the interviews I had conducted for the foundation. And speaking of that, a framed letter written to me by Steven Spielberg is on this table, and there are also some information written, published information given to me by Lucy Goodman, right here, who is on the staff of the Shoah Foundation. They are, of course, they are now established on the campus of USC, and but they still do interviewing. They're interviewing Rwanda survivors and what else? There's some other Rwanda.
We're trying to digitize the
Armenian genocide. So they're still very much in operation. DreamWorks was the perfect place for me to achieve closure to my career as a Shoah interviewer. For everything about the foundation was top-notch. Just what you'd expect from a production directed by Steven Spielberg. In conclusion, I have spoken to you today about survivors, not the 6 million victims of Nazi atrocities. So I will end this talk appropriately with the watchwords of Holocaust education. Never forget and never again. Thank you for listening.